Greet you. How's it going? Okay. But you got to stay in a little more than that. Okay. Got to, and you people know this probably better than anything, but I got to the Boys, Wyoming. Good deal, because I'm not going to be speaking in churches now for a while. I got 2 weeks just to get up through along the eastern side of the Wind River Range. Get over in the John D. Rockefeller Parkway, which is a little strip of land that goes between the Tetons and Yellowstone. But it's got a road on it, Grassy Creek Road, and it'll get you out to Ashton, Idaho. You get to Ashton, Idaho, you got a couple of hits there. You get over Reynolds Pass, going into Montana, going north, and you drop down in, and then pretty soon you're at Ennis or someplace, and you can start the itinerary again. But it takes you about 2 weeks to ride this out. And a group was with me from Nebraska, and they were going to bring along a pickup truck, the feed for both of us, and tents, and we'll just go through that area. It was a high grizzly area. Between you and I, they had stuff for that too. But anyway, that's what we were going to do. We got to Du Bois, started out in Du Bois, got there about an hour, about 4 miles down the road or something like that. And my horse stepped on a culvert. And the edge of the culvert comes out, and you just kind of rip them off, and that's the way you left them. And cut him about 3 inches above the pasturing joint, and then when he stepped down, it pushed the skin up about 3 inches, but when he pushed off, it notched the tendon. He's out of it. Bleeding like a cyclone. Well, long story short, the guys just kind of flipped their flat tops on and changed hats. And we started looking around for horses we could buy. At first I thought, well, the Lord's got a different end for this than what I would have. We'd already gone 2,000 miles, and another 1,000 miles to go to get over the Cascades, and get up alongside of Seattle and head to the Puget Sound. Well, I thought, well, maybe it's over, but there's just too much receptivity. Too much was going on. A friend of mine set up a website, which I don't have a clue what it's all about, but he got people started following and all that kind of thing, and it was just good all the way. And I thought, well, let's try to get a horse. We've got a couple of weeks. We're not even bothering the itinerary yet. And we started looking, and let me tell you something. Down in Wyoming, they don't want to sell you a good one. And outfitters tell me that, I can price a horse, but I got to price him to what he earns for me, and that brings him way up more than he's worth, and they didn't want to sell him anyway. Now, while I was there, it took about all that 2 weeks. I had 3 good hits I wouldn't have had otherwise. I thought were very meaningful. They have a rodeo there every weekend, and it's a mistake to hand the preacher the mic and tell him to pray. Okay? But we kept it down to a tasteful length of time that still could share the gospel. It went off very well. Looking for a horse, this fellow with the black mustache and Marlboro commercial that we see plastered up, swinging a rope. His mustache is not brown, it is gray now. He sells horses, not feeling well. I don't know what's all's with him, but he had a horse that couldn't use it. So I found out where he was and went over there. He's sitting on the edge, and the gal showed me the little horse that he had. The horse is a little too gamey for what I needed. Couldn't trust him on the road. I don't think that well. And at the end of it, I couldn't really use him. But before I got on the horse, I looked, and there's one of these ladder crosses. Now, I don't know about your area. I don't think so much even in our area up north, towards the Canadian border. But down there, it's kind of a fad, and they'll hang them on their saddles. They're doing it here. Okay. Well, before I swung up, I took the cross through my hand. I looked over at her, and I said, I hope this means what I think it does. And she says, you bet. Now, I knew Darryl. That's the name of this fellow from the Marlboro ad. It had Christians around it. But I wanted to say something to him before I left, after I tried the horse out. So I went over to him, and I know you can get too heavy and you can do too much. There's a lot of witnessing, and you might just, if you're not heart isn't in it. You could mess it up, and so you want to go real easy. So all I said to him, I said, Daryl, thanks so much for coming out, and thanks for showing me this old phone. I can't use them. And I just said to him, but you know, Daryl, I hope this is the year that you draw the nearest Lord that you've ever in your life. And he looked out at me and through me and didn't say a word. And then I started toward the car that they lent me to get over there, and about 40 feet away, I had about 20 feet from him. I heard him kind of clear his voice, and he called me by my first name. Didn't have to do that. In that culture, he had something to say. I turned around, he looked like a loss for words for just that split second. He said, stay sober, Ken. And I said, Dale, I don't drink, but I'm going to work on that one too.